It's your call with John Penny and Dwayne Long.
Hey, good morning.
It's your call.
No, I think it's your call.
I think it's time to start this show today.
I think it might be. I think we got a pretty good thing to talk about
a lot of
today.
stuff's been happening.
How rich are you?
How rich am I?
I ask you first.
We're working for no money here, so
For sure.
you tell me, how rich are you?
Well, we decided to go into the wrong profession. We should be sports players.
I was an athlete for a long time.
Well, that's
Still
true.
made
You
money.
made all kinds of money, didn't you?
In boxing, I made some pretty good money.
What was the most money you ever fought for?
Probably about $12,000.
$12,000. That's good money.
Well, then you give your coach a third of it.
Oh, well.
Your manager a third of it. And he pays the coach. And,
Oh, good. So you did okay in boxing.
yeah, I got to see the world. It was good.
Oh, that's great. Well, these guys today are making all kinds of money in sports.
You know, I understand what you're saying, and you're right. But at the same time, the advertisers get paid more and more money. The TV shows get more and more money. Sponsors. So all of a sudden, by the way, sponsors, you can call in here to give
That's
us
right.
a sponsor.
That'd be nice.
But sponsors, they make up that money for the show. So all of a sudden, like Saturday Night Live, when it came out the first, none of those guys are making any money. Within a year, they were all making $1 million a year.
Hey, maybe that'll happen to us.
It's possible.
I doubt it. Well, we know that it's true that sports is supported by corporate sponsorships and
Exactly.
millions and millions and millions of dollars.
How would you like to be the golf company that DeChambeau pretty much made fun of his driver? Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. Tell me about that.
He made DeChambeau, the guy hits the ball 1,000,000 miles. He had a really bad day, and he blamed it on his driver, how his company's drivers were terrible. And I mean, how do you do that? I think he got fired immediately.
Well, he lost that corporate sponsorship.
Right.
Is what he lost.
So all of a sudden, you're going, hey, what's going to happen now? But you can't make fun of people. I mean, they're taking care of you. The clothes you wear are clothes they give you.
Oh yeah, they're getting all kinds of items to help get the sponsor's name out there. Like all these guys wear Nike hats or Nike shirts or Nike shoes. They're not paying for those shoes.
They're not buying them at Walmart.
They're not.
They don't have
getting
to buy them. They get the best ones, most expensive ones for free.
Absolutely, and and then the payouts for some of these golf tournaments is tremendous. I mean,
how much did Jack Nicklaus make in his career?
I think he made a little over $5.5 million for his entire career.
He's arguably the greatest golfer of all time.
Oh, absolutely. A fantastic golfer and a fantastic man. But, recently, just this past week at the Open Championship in Sandwich, England, and you believe it was called Sandwich, England? But anyway, Colin Morikawa finished first, and he won $2 million, a little over $2 million for winning the Open tournament.
Well, when I was in England, I went to a place called Sandwich and Fries, England. But
well, believe it or not, the town of Ham is about 3 miles from Sandwich.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'd be a special sandwich.
That would be a special.
But see,
sandwich.
I just don't understand. Listen, I'm not jealous. Am I jealous? No, I'm really not. You have got to work your entire life to become a professional athlete. That is what you pretty much make up your mind you're going to do. It's not easy. If anybody could do it, everybody be doing it.
Absolutely.
And hitting a baseball, I believe, is the hardest thing in sports. I'm not saying it's the most painful or you risk injury, but I'm telling you, hitting a baseball with a major league pitcher pitching curves and fastballs at 106 miles an hour, hey, Good luck.
It's probably one of the most physical things a player can do, a sports person figure can do, is try to attempt to hit a ball that's coming sometimes 100 miles per hour
And curving
and curving.
or dropping down. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, like a hard slider. I mean, they swing and that ball just dips right below the bat, and
And
it's
it's
incredible.
almost funny because they missed the ball by 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and they were thinking, "Hey, I was close to that one." You know what I mean? Because that ball's a hard ball to hit.
But some of these ball players are making $100 million over a course of 4 or 5 years, and it's a tremendous amount of money, and that drives the seat prices up if
Right.
you want to attend a ball game or a football game.
Football is the expensive one, though, man. Football seats, whoo, mercy.
Yeah, I mean you pay just to be in the top seats
Right.
there.
Do you remember the time we were in St. Louis and watched the Cubs and Cardinals play? And
Oh yeah,
we were out in center field as high as you could possibly go. And they were great seats was the thing. The players were little tiny people, but it was really fun. I had
They
a
were
great
little
time
people?
out there. Remember well, they looked like they were like about 6 inches tall. We were way out there. Dead center. We went up to the dead center up there.
yeah. We were sitting back by the wall.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the wall. In fact, we moved up a little farther so we could get the breeze off
Yeah,
the
that
stadium
was
because
hot.
it was hot.
You know, that's a great stadium to go to.
Bush Stadium. There's a great stadium all throughout America.
I want to go back there. I want to go to Wrigley Field again. My dad told me to Wrigley Field as a kid, but I don't remember it. And unless I remember it, it didn't happen.
Well, why don't we just leave right now?
Yeah.
We'll head to Chicago.
Hey, I've had worse ideas.
But they're playing in Bush Stadium.
Oh, that's all they are paying him. Well, we'd have the stadium to ourselves. That'd be good.
And the Cubs and the Cardinals are a great rivalry.
Oh, some of the best rivalry in sports is just last night the Cubs got beat badly. My wife, I walked in the door and I says, "The baseball game on?" And my wife says, "Yeah, it's on. You're not going to like it, but it's on." So I knew the Cubs were losing.
So you didn't watch it, did you?
No,
You don't
No.
like to see the Cubs lose.
I don't like if it's 7-1 in the 7th inning. I'm pretty much over with the game.
Don't need to see that game.
No,
You pretty well know what's going to happen.
tomorrow, always tomorrow. With the Cubs, it's always tomorrow.
Have you ever noticed how when the Cubs and the Cardinals play, the price for seats goes up
Oh yeah,
substantially
yeah.
because that's such a great rivalry that they do that. I'd like to have been Jordan Spieth this past weekend.
Well, he came in second and made how much?
$1.19 million.
But they are the draws. DeChambeau, Tiger Woods was the biggest draw probably of all time in a way. Jack Nicklaus was an incredible draw. They draw the people in to play golf, and they pay for other people. They don't pay, but they get people wanting to have their golf clubs. Didn't you have Jack Nicklaus golf clubs for a while?
No, I had Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, another great one.
I had Sandra Palmer.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
And you
Yeah,
played
Sandra
pretty
Palmer.
good.
No, I hit the ball short all the time.
Well, it was that dress you were wearing. But anyway, hey, by the way, Brian DeChambeau
yes.
finished tied for 63rd in the Open Championship and made $60,000.
Okay, that will pay for his entry fee. Well, he has sponsors. He probably doesn't pay anything, but he probably gets his hotel paid, transportation paid, everything. So the
there's-
$60,000 is all profit, probably.
yeah, so there's
Or unless he pays
you had to pay the
10%.
caddy.
He's got pay the caddy. He's also got to pay his managers, the people that take care of him.
Yeah, his coaches,
Right.
things like that.
So it gets bigger. I remember my manager asked me one time, says, "Do you want 1/3 of what you make in boxing, or do you want to make 1/2?" And I said, "Well, what's the difference?" He goes, "Well, 1/3, I'll pay for your apartment. I'll give you some gas money here and there, and do this, do that. If I pay you 1/2, you pay for everything yourself." And my greedy little mind said, "Get 1/2, get 1/2." and I lost money on the deal. Get 1/2. I know 1/2 is bigger. Oh yeah, get 1/2.
Yeah, sometimes the large numbers will come back to bite you in the
Yes,
backside.
especially if you've been hitting the head a lot.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's another cost of
that's
sponsoring.
part of. I mean, these like the money Tiger Woods made was so incredible for like about 5 years. I mean, he could have retired 10 years ago and been probably a billionaire by the time he quits. But now I feel really bad for him. I don't like the fact that he was driving drunk,
Yeah.
but I really feel bad for him with the bad legs and the bad feet and everything. That's going to be hard to come back from.
It will be hard for Tiger to come back and be competitive in the game of golf. But he would make a great commentator and things like that.
I don't think he's kind of a shy guy. I don't think he'd be as good as you do. I think sometimes those guys, even football players, get on that Monday Night Football and they just don't really care. They think it's supposed to be easy and fun. Doing that stuff's not easy.
No,
It's not.
I
And,
wouldn't even want to attempt to do it because you have to keep up with all the facts and figures and
Oh,
the game data, the statistics and all that. And you know how I feel about statistics.
I was watching before Tampa Bay had a football team, which was they had one for like 10 years before they were any good. But anyway, one of the first games in Tampa Bay Stadium was the New York Jets, an exhibition game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I wanted to see it. Joe Namath was still playing with the Jets, and I wanted to see Joe Namath play. And I got to sit in the press booth because I wrote for the Tampa Tribune. I covered high school sports, and I was a boxer, and I'm a minor celebrity. But they got me in to watch the game in the press box. And I didn't know you didn't make any noise in there. I didn't realize you weren't supposed to cheer something. So Joe Namath threw like a 75-yard touchdown, and I jumped down and go, yes, yes, yes. And all these sports guys are looking at me like, who is that guy?
Yeah, I think you're supposed to be impartial.
Impartial, yeah.
Impartial when you're in the sports booth.
And if not,
John,
at least be for the home team,
Yeah, probably it'd be the better thing to do. Hey, you mentioned sports people in the broadcast booth, and this coming year, 2021, Eli Manning and Peyton Manning are going to team up to do ESPN alternate channel.
I think that's great.
football.
I think it's great. Peyton Manning's incredible on TV. He just he's got a really easygoing way. He makes fun of himself. He has
Yes.
fun. Eli looks to me like a little wound a little tighter, and that's why I think they're doing it together. Because I think Peyton will kind of help Eli.
Yeah, I think there'll be a good group of people who they'll banter back with
Give
one
and take.
another
The
and give and take. And Eli and Peyton, their personalities are quite a bit different.
Right.
And plus, they're going to have some celebrities come on their
Sure.
program and all that. And
Well, that's
former football players.
That's what the Monday Night Football. You never knew who you're going to see that night. Up in the middle of the game, all of a sudden, here comes John Wayne, and here's so and so, and they come in and sit down, and talk for like 5 minutes, and leave, and it was great,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure John Wayne not coming in.
No,
this
but he
show,
did back then.
But he did back then, and they will bring in a former football player,
Sure.
or even who was it? I saw Matt Damon. I think one time being interviewed about football. That might have been on Peyton's Places show that he does now. But yeah, they'll bring in special people
Sure.
to talk about the game, and sometimes it's not about the game; it'll be something
about
related
the movies, yeah.
about the movies that they're doing. So it's a great.
Say, there you go. The guy just threw a touchdown pass, but let's talk about your movie. What do
Yeah.
you say?
That was a great play by Tom Brady. But now let's turn to your show, Draft Day, so something like that. So yeah, we got football seasons coming up. Are you ready for some football? I'm ready for it.
I am too.
I kind of go season to season. There's a part of the year that I don't have any relationship to sports wise.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not a big NHL hockey
No.
person. I
'Cause
don't
we didn't play
understand
it
the
here.
game. Soccer, I don't understand the game. You run back and forth, you kick a ball, and you put it in a goal.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
I'm sure it is. And there's some very talented, I'm not knocking the talent of the people who play those games. It's just not a game that resonates with me.
It's not an American game per se. At first, it was not an American game, but like basketball to me right now. I don't watch. I really have not watched baseball this year. I did watch some football, but I didn't watch any basketball, any baseball to account for anything. The Olympics, I used to love watching the Olympic tryouts and stuff. I used to watch everything. I didn't do that this year. It's been a very down year for me as far as sports.
I guess maybe that's because of some of the sports, what the COVID thing has done
I think so.
nationwide. And I think it's really hard to get back into it. And you see some of the games, more people are attending games
Now,
but then of course, with this new Delta variant, that's going to have an impact. It's already having an impact on sports.
well, I've told you before, I'm sick and tired of cheaters. If your
Yeah.
sport is involved in cheating, I'm pretty much down on it. I understand you do little things, everybody does little things, but you don't steal the World Series by cheating.
I know, and I know we've talked about that before, but it's true. It just seems to be more prevalent these days. That it's either cheating is either happening, or at least they're getting caught. They
Right.
weren't getting caught before, and now
Right.
they seem to be getting caught a little
It
bit
was
more.
accepted in a way. It was almost an accepted thing, and it changed the outcome of the World Series. Probably every time those guys knew a curveball was coming,
They knew
they'd
it.
rip that ball, man. Doubles, triples, homers. And you're wondering what's going on here. If you're a pitcher, what's going on? And,
Yeah, and so with all, it's just like for years and years and years, they never worried or spoke a lot or enforced the rules about foreign substances on baseball.
the spitball.
Yeah,
But that's all they used was the spitball for the longest time.
yeah, but
And then they went to like suntan lotion on their arms and stuff. They could rub that and get her on the ball. And
yeah,
I mean,
in
it's
between
incredible.
the rosin, the sweat.
So do not tell me that the pitchers of today, because they've won more games, are better than Bob Gibson. Don't tell
No.
me that. Ferguson Jenkins. Don't tell me. They cheated. They got caught cheating. So they are not in the same level of Bob Gibson, Ferguson Jenkins, Sandy Koufax.
Now you're not saying that Bob Gibson and Sandy Koufax cheated.
No,
No,
all
you're
I'm
saying
saying is
today's
today's people are not at that level, even though they've got more wins, some of them, and they pitch harder. They have their curveballs are twice whatever Bob Gibson could throw. Well, he didn't have an armful of suntan lotion.
absolutely, and and the thing is that when those guys played, they played for the love of the game, and they played hard. Now these guys, I think a lot of these players, and I'm not saying all, but I say a lot of players are in the game now because of the money that's offered. And
Well,
that,
it is
and that's,
amazing.
that's okay.
But
That's okay.
you have to have the ability, the skill. You have to hone it. You have to have you. The most important thing when you're a kid from like I'd say 8 to 14 is coaching. That if you have good coaching and learn from people, it really makes a difference in your playing ability in any sport. But especially 8 to 14, your body starts rounding into shape and you know what you're doing. And I mean, we taught ourselves baseball, playing out on school parking lots,
Yep.
in the parking lots and everything else we could play on. We played.
Right. And of course, we played in the
boys' club.
Kiwanis and
Right.
boys and
Kiwanis
Girls
was a
Club
great
program.
organization. Well, it still is a great
Still was a great
organization.
organization.
But they were great with that baseball thing, man. New shirts every year.
Hey, but they were the same old shirts, white,
Reserve, same old design, but that's
same old
okay.
white, same old
I
design.
got a new
but-
shirt this year. Hey, look at
hey,
this.
all right.
Look at Penny showing off.
Great. Hey, I want to get back to football just for a little bit because I know your team,
The
your
Steelers,
team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Were they called the Mean Machine at one point in time?
best defense I think of all time. They had Joe Green. They had TJ. What's his name? Lambert. Lambert was just amazing.
They had Jack Ham.
They had Jack. They had great defensive backs.
They were the steel curtain.
They were the steel curtain, and they meant it. They at the end of a season one time, they had 4 games in a row where they didn't allow the other team a point. 4 in a row, they got no points.
Well, there's no doubt that they were just as important as a defense as the offense was.
Right.
For the team.
They kept those points off the scoreboard, and then they had Franco Harris. They had Swan, the stalwart, the best wide receivers.
Rocky
And-
Blyer.
Rocky Blyer. And I can't, I've said this before, but I cannot imagine the damage Bradshaw could have done in today's rules of football where you can't touch the wide receiver if he goes more than 5 yards down the field. I mean, please.
Or you can't rush the quarterback and
Right.
and
They
knock
knocked
him down.
out.
They
They
knocked
would-
him down, but those quarterbacks, they got right back up.
Right. There was his name. Bradshaw got his jaw broke one time, got knocked out cold, came back to play the next week. I mean, you laugh about Terry Bradshaw, and I do. I think he's kind of funny.
He is funny.
And but he was an amazing quarterback.
Well, I know that Pittsburgh just recently picked up a new linebacker
Yeah,
because
we needed him.
they lost one to the Tennessee Titans,
Right.
and
Boy,
they picked up.
that may be a tough team this year.
It could be, but they just brought in Melvin Ingram. He was drafted the first round in 2012, and he over the last several years he's recorded like 49 sacks.
Yeah, and he's got 3 All-Pro. He was an All-Pro 3 times. He's a good player. He may help us out. We need somebody in the middle to help us out.
Yeah, I think that'll help out the defense.
See, I said last year that the Kansas City Chiefs, I told it to you that their defense was not what it was even the year before. And you got in the big games, if you can keep the other team down to 12 points, 14 points, you got a real good chance to win, especially with that quarterback we got.
Yeah, with the
Mahomes, I
if-
mean, you've got that quarterback. You have a really great chance of scoring 21, 28 points. You keep them down to 14, you have a great chance of winning. But the Chiefs couldn't do that last year.
No, they've got hopefully they've improved from last year. I personally think they improved a little bit last year. They got Frank Clark, but he's got some personal issues right now. And they got that Chris Jones. They brought in some new people.
And I hope they do well. I like the Chiefs. In fact, the Chiefs are my second favorite team. I always has been. I remember when the Chiefs and the Raiders was a game everybody watched here in Missouri because we hated the Raiders.
Oh yeah.
I dated a girl
Uh-oh.
whose favorite team was the Raiders.
Oh, that must have been hard.
Oh, well, it didn't last long. I finally said enough's enough. I can't listen to you in my house cheer for the Raiders. So we broke up. We did.
Well, you know what was funny if we both married wives that sports is not exactly one of their favorite things.
Not in the top 100.
Mine's not in the top half. Not of 100, half of one.
It's just
But they're great.
Oh, they're great.
I asked my wife last night. I asked her if she wanted to watch the Cardinal Cub game with me, and she said, "No."
And, well, I remember my wife Donna telling me we're going to get a TV for our bedroom, and I go, "Oh, that's great! Thank you so much." So we got a TV. As soon as I say sports, she goes, "You got a room? Go find it.
Go find your
Yeah,
room.
go find. I'm watching something else here. There's a Law and Order here somewhere. Law and
You mean that when you mention sports, you're sent to the
I'm
doghouse?
sent to not the doghouse maybe, but I'm sent to the part of the house that is the furthest from the kitchen, which I got to get up every commercial to get something to drink or something.
Of course you do.
Little snack.
Hey, you mentioned the Chiefs. I think that the road to the Super Bowl goes through the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think so too, and I really hope so. I hope it goes through Pittsburgh too. I'd love to see them play in the final game. I
Oh,
would
that'd be
love
great.
that.
But you're in a tough division. You got
Oh.
Cleveland, you got the Ravens, you got the Steelers,
Cleveland,
and then you've got the Bengals.
Cleveland is Cleveland. It gets close, and then the reality of life comes up and says, "You done but Cleveland," and they lose the games.
I know. Mike Greenberg suggested that on radio, TV yesterday that Cleveland was the most athletic team in the NFL this year. They may be the most athletic team, but they're not the most. I don't think they're the most talented team.
Oh, I don't think so either. They've
got some great players.
I'm not a great Brady fan. I'm not even close to being a great Brady fan. But when that guy is on the field, quarterbacking your team, you don't have to have everything so tense and tight. If you're the defense, you're not all bundled up, thinking, "Oh man, we got to do something," And Brady's going to win the game for you if he can.
Yeah, he gives you the best chance of winning.
Right.
And so you don't have to have all that anxiety and pent up.
Pittsburgh went 11-0 last year. The
Yeah.
first 11 games. 11 games in 0, lost 4 of the next 5 or 5 of the next 6, I guess. No, 4 of the next 5.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the schedule and I go, well, they're not playing anybody much of the last 5 or 6 games. So they were 11-0. And I thought, yeah, come on, guys. Then they lost those games.
What do you think they let up or?
I don't know. I don't think they had the talent that they thought they did. And,
So they were kind of they overachieved the first 11 games and
but they were playing teams that weren't as good. So they had like a 10-game or a resting up period. If a defense can hold your team, like I said, then that makes such a difference. I mean, you can, like I said before, the Steelers kept in the playoffs. They kept people from scoring for 4 straight games or a couple of regular season games and a couple playoff games, no points. Well, if they have no points, you're going to win the game.
Absolutely.
You kick a field goal, you're going to win the game.
Yeah. And they were that kind of team the first 11 games.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, things went haywire. Ben couldn't throw a pass. And
I was in heaven. Pittsburgh was 11-0 and Notre Dame was 10-0.
Oh.
And I thought, thank you, Lord.
What a
Thank
great
you.
combination.
Oh, for me. And I realized that you got to take the bad with the good.
Yeah, I follow Clemson most of the time when I'm watching college
Great
football.
team.
Great team, great coach. Love Coach Dabo and his character. He's just an outstanding character. So I enjoy watching them, but I'm a Chiefs fanatic. I live in the Ozarks.
Sure.
So I love the Kansas City Chiefs. I loved it when Patrick Mahomes came to the Steak and Steak at the Boys and Girls Club. Did a fantastic job.
To me, the best one ever.
Relating to the crowd and throwing those passes to those people who bought the auction balls.
Yeah,
and things like that.
Anything he could do, he was trying to get money for the club.
Yeah, and from what I understand, his interaction with the kids at the club the afternoon before the banquet, he's just a fantastic person. But I really want to see the Chiefs do well again this year. And I'm worried about the defense, though, because they've had such a sporadic, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And you just can't do that and win all your games.
That guy that plays, I believe, for the Titans, that running back, that great running back they have. I can't remember his name.
Derrick Henry.
Derek. You know, it takes more than one guy to bring him down.
Oh, he's a monster.
You have to gang tackle like the old days, and then nowadays I think you risk the chance of unsportsmanlike conduct that you're hitting this guy with 4 different players. It takes that many players to bring this guy down almost.
He's a tough person to bring down. And have you looked at his physique? I mean,
His thighs.
I'd like to look like that. Maybe.
You couldn't afford the clothes. They're all made special for him.
Oh,
I
they could be made special for me.
Yeah, but if we could get Busy Bee open again, maybe. I mean,
Well, maybe so.
how
Busy Bee.
many clothes did you buy at Busy Bee as when you were a kid?
Oh gosh, we went to Busy Bee a lot.
As soon as
Crazy Cecil.
the
also.
week before school.
That's
Week
where you
before
went.
School, that's where you went. Busy Bee, Crazy Cecil's, man. That's what you did.
If
if
you
you
went
were
to
a
if you went to
Northside
Newberry,
boy, Yeah, if you went to Newberry's,
you
you were something else,
were
man.
something from the south.
Do
Southside.
you remember Madras shirts? The colors are all mixed together and stuff. Madras.
yeah.
My grandmother came back one time and had bought me a Madras shirt. I must have worn that shirt 3 out of 5 days at Hillcrest. I loved that shirt. Only cool shirt I ever had, but that was a cool shirt.
Yeah, I used to wear these shirts that would cling to my body. You know, that's what I was called. My nickname was Stick because I was so thin.
Now it's Tree Branch, but that's okay.
Those were days that have gone by.
Yes, but you need to be skinny now? Maybe for our health a little bit.
Not to sit in a recliner, I don't.
No. Playing pickleball? Not especially.
Pickleball.
Hey, I
we
want
need
to say
to talk
something.
about pickleball.
I'm ready to talk about pickleball. I want to play pickleball again. I've got that AFib, so I
Yep.
still got to wait till I figure out what I got with that.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with when I broke my ankle and
Right.
all that. I don't want to ever do that again.
He was laying on the ground or laying on the concrete at the pickleball court. His leg was broken or his ankle was broken.
No, that's
No.
when I just skidded and
Oh,
my
that's
knee
right.
and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that. And my knee was bleeding.
And I come up and go, don't worry about him. He'll be up in less than a minute. He's a boys club boy. And within a minute, Dwayne was up. We were playing the game again.
I wanted to play. I just wanted to play.
That's what it's all about.
I love the game. Not very good at it, but I love the game.
That's same here.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we can play a doubles team, Dwayne and I, and just laugh and have a good time. But we're serious about the game. We want to win the game.
Yeah, we do.
But we enjoy it. We enjoy the competition and we enjoy playing the game.
And we enjoy the camaraderie among the
Sure.
other players also. I think they were
If
great
you
people.
people don't know about pickleball, go out to Meadow Park sometime when it's a warm day.
About
Watch the people.
6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning. No, yeah, but I mean, get out there and watch the people play. They love it. They enjoy it. Families come out. Fathers bring their kids out there, 8, 10 years old, and hit balls with them, and then they play with the kids. You don't care about winning and losing as much in this game.
Although there are some who are very competitive
Very
in the
competitive.
game of pickleball.
but they
you played
tell
in
you-
that tournament one time.
But they tell you that they're competitive. That we're good players, and
Right.
maybe you should play with somebody else. No offense or anything, but it's like, and that doesn't hurt my feelings. I know.
But they will also help you learn
Sure.
how to be a better player. So they're very good at that as well.
Yeah, they yell, "Get up here! Get up here! Get up here! Quit walking! Quit walking! Run! Run! Run!" Yeah, that's a lot of help, man.
Have we talked about the NBA yet?
You know something, Dwayne? I tell you, I can't watch. You and I grew up
Oh.
together. And we watched. I walked to your house. You walked to my house. We watched basketball, football, baseball, golf, anything.
Oh, we're 55 years ago. We did these things.
But now I can't watch a whole game hardly at all of basketball.
I have almost turned it completely off. I can't fathom how these players, these teams today, build their teams around 2 or 3 people, and that's it.
They're shooting. I've seen that one kid from the Warriors,
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, who's a great player, maybe the greatest pure shooter of all time. I can't deny that. Him and Jerry West and Magic and people like that. But I seen him go over the half court line, maybe 2 feet, and shoot the ball and make it, strip it, make it.
Oh yeah.
In the old days, that would have been such it would have been a scary tactic, and you would never do something like that. You
No,
pass the
because
ball,
it-
pass the ball.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. You'd have the Celtics, which was our
Right.
favorite team, one of our favorite teams, and they might pass the ball 5 or 6 times before anybody takes a shot.
Right.
And you had John Havlicek and Bob Cousy, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, and of course the kid from French Lick, Larry Bird.
That's him. Now, then I also enjoyed the team, the New York Knicks, when they had I can't remember.
Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed.
Willis Reed. Oh yeah, that when Willis Reed came out of the stands that time before the game started, about 5 minutes before the game started, and people went nuts. I loved the Knicks. I thought they played a game, hit the open man. They hit the open man. If they hit the open man, he put the ball in the basket, and they won the championship that year. I think 2 years in a row, maybe. But they were great. Walt Frazier, Earl of Pearl Monroe.
Oh gosh.
My brother, every time my brother played basketball, he'd say, Earl of Pearl Monroe right here.
There you go. Yeah, Michael.
And then he'd shoot a basketball from 40 feet away,
But nowadays with the way basketball is just totally changed,
Oh,
and I guess that's for the younger generation that may be okay, but for me, it just doesn't seem like NBA basketball.
no, but you
anymore.
can't tell what's his name. He can't shoot the ball from that far. I mean, Seth Curry. I mean, he's incredible shooting the ball. But there are big guys now. The big guy that plays for Milwaukee, they've really cut him down now to not shooting 3-pointers. They're telling him, no, don't shoot the 3-pointers. If you maybe one, but don't be shooting them all day. Don't back out there and shoot the ball. Get inside, get your layups, get your fouls and stuff like that. He's not a great foul shooter, but that's still better than shooting 3-point shot for him.
Sure.
And they've won 3 games in a row.
Yeah, they are leading the Suns 3-2 with the chance to take it all tonight. I believe it's tonight when
It's
they play again. So hopefully the Bucks will win, and I won't have to worry about NBA basketball for another several.
They may start the season up 2 months from now. Who you don't know anymore with the seasons anymore.
I just want. I'm ready for the end of baseball season.
Start football.
And start football, but I'll be following those Cardinals. Cardinals are 8 games behind. I think the Cubs are about 8 games behind, and they've got some games coming up with the Bucks.
I think the Cubs are 8 games behind the 8 games behind Cardinals.
No, they're not.
They're pretty far back. It just kills me. You got all the money in the world from the champion for the Chicago Tribune and stuff like that. All the money in the world, the people that own it, and you are not getting any pitching. No pitching. And pitching anymore is more than 50% of the game. It's more like 60, 65, 70% of the game, because if you can't stop people from hitting home runs, you're going to lose the ball game.
Well, you got to keep runners off base. If you
Right.
keep runners off base, you have a good chance of winning.
You can't walk people.
No, and Cardinals they're leading the lead in the number of walks this year.
Wow.
The Cardinals are. The Cubs are in third. San Francisco, I think, is in second.
We're number
I
3.
know.
We're number 3.
You betcha. And here you're talking about the millions of dollars that these teams have. It kind of goes back to what we started talking about, the money that's in sports.
Well,
A
everybody's
tremendous amount of
scared.
money.
They're scared this year because they know they're not going to have any people in the stands or not enough to make a profit. But you still got to, now's the time to get the other players. Everybody's looking for money. Give them some of your money.
Yeah, the trade deadline is coming soon.
Right.
And you have to make those trades.
Well, I think the Cubs are going to trade away their third baseman. I think they might trade away Rizzo, the shortstop, and one of the outfielders. I mean, I think they're going to trade away a lot of players to get young players.
Well, I think our time is pretty much up for today. We are at the 10:40 mark. And so is it time to throw in the towel?
It's good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you today.
I'll see you out in the car a little bit later on.
Yeah, I know, but I may walk. You were driving that good on the way up here. But It's your call. You let us know.
No, it's your call.
No, just throw in the towel. Let's get out of here.
It's your call. You throw in the towel.
I'll throw in. I've never threw in the towel on
Well,
me ever.
it's your time. It's your call.
It's my call.
Throw in
Thanks,
the towel.
guys.